Hey, class. We're here today to read another adaptation of The Emperor's New Clothes. I know yesterday we read The Emperor Penguin's New Clothes, which was pretty closely based on the original or the classic version, although it had a penguin in it. This version, for real, I paraded in my underpants, however, is written from the perspective of the emperor himself. So it's going to give us an entirely different perspective on the story. And I love these are my favorite types of adaptations, ones that are written from a different point of view. I think that they're really interesting and often very funny, and just really a creative way to write an adaptation. So I'm hoping this one doesn't disappoint. Here we go. My name is Emperor Twill, ruler of the kingdom Pardonia. Did you just giggle? Did I hear a snort? Well, I should be used to it. After all, I'm the fool who marched down the streets of the city and wearing nothing but his underpants. But I have to say, that totally embarrassing parade helped me to save my kingdom. So please stop your snickering and let me tell you my side of the story. A while back, the kingdom of Pardonia had a real problem. People were too nice. We had traffic jams every single day. Everyone wanted to let the other guy go first. Losing teams would always get one more chance. Ball games went on and on until the players fell asleep. People didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so they didn't say what they really thought. That led to some very bad ideas. Water park for cats? Bad idea. Tarantula day? Bad idea. A huge chocolate fountain in the middle of town square? Very bad idea. Sure, I could have stepped in, but when everyone else is always smiling and agreeing, it can be hard to speak up, even for an emperor. I'm noticing some themes here that are very similar to the classic version. The day the town square closed because all the flies, I knew it was time to make some changes. I couldn't do it all by myself, so I set about finding someone who could help me turn my kingdom into a nice but reasonable place. One day, two tailors appeared at my palace. They offered to make me the finest outfit one could ever hope to see. They weren't really tailors, though. They were actors. Their names were Walton and Skeet. I'd hired them myself. It was a test, you see. I asked the actors to pretend to make me invisible clothes. I wanted to see if any of my advisors would be bold enough to say something. Walton and Skeet worked day and night. I checked in on them every so often and loudly praised their work. So many colors, I would say, and the patterns so enchanting. My advisors squinted and scratched their heads. What do you think? I asked my first advisor. Little beads of sweat popped up on his brow. It's fine work indeed, he said. And you? I asked my second advisor. He bit his lip nervously. Words can't describe it, he replied. One by one, I asked all of my advisors to tell me what they thought of the amazing cloth. Not one of them told me the truth. They were too afraid of hurting my feelings. Soon, Walton and Skeet started sewing the clothes. During a fitting, they pretended to fuss with a jacket, robe, and pants that weren't there, and no one said a thing except ooh and ah. Surely someone in the kingdom knew how to speak up. I had to find that person, and I knew what had to be done. I made plans for a grand parade. We had musicians, horses, jugglers, acrobats, and finally there was me, the Emperor Twill of Pardonia, marching down the street in my underpants. As I went by, people stared, but they clapped and bowed, just like always. Would no one speak up? Was I embarrassing myself for no reason? Suddenly, a child's voice rose from the crowd. But he hasn't got anything on, it said. I stopped in my tracks. Who said that? I shouted. Me, I did. It was me, came the voice again. I made my way through the crowd, so eager to meet this brave child that somehow forgot all about my clothesless condition. Walton tossed me a robe, a real robe. My outspoken hero was a young girl. Grown ups bobbed around her in whispers of shh and say you're sorry. I waved them away. What is your name? I asked the girl. Frankie, she answered. Tell me, Frankie, do you think cats enjoy water parks? I asked. No, that's silly, she said. Cats don't like water. Do you like celebrating Tarantula Day? I asked. She shrugged and said, I think it's kind of weird. What do you think about the chocolate fountain in the middle of town? I asked. She wrinkled her nose. Too many flies, she replied. That settled it. I found the one person in the entire kingdom who could help me turn things around. Thanks to Frankie, Pardonia is starting to make a lot more sense. Ball games end when they're supposed to, traffic flows freely, Tarantula Day has been replaced with Donut Day, and now that chocolate fountain is gone. We have just the normal amount of flies. So you see, I am not a fool. I was brave to do what I did, and now everyone in Pardonia can be a little braver too. So that's the end of that one. I really enjoyed it. I thought that was a really unique way to do it. Like I said in the beginning, I think it's really creative. And these are my favorite types of adaptations. So let me know what you think, either by leaving a comment or letting us know on Zoom. All right, guys, have a great day.